Okay everyone, so what we have now is word sums, and the first word sum is saying the sum of twice a number and 3 times another number is 120. 4 times the number, 4 times the first number plus the second number is 64. Calculate the value of the two numbers. So the first thing what you must know is when you are doing a word sum is the English they're using. So we know that sum means plus, twice means 2, and then 3 is 3, and times is multiply. 4 again is 4, and times is multiply. Plus is addition again, and then is equal again. Here also is means equal. When they say is, they mean equal. Calculate the value of the two numbers. Okay, so let's now do this step by step. Okay, so they are saying the sum of twice a number, so we write it as 2x. The sum of twice a number, that means 2 times a number, and 3 times another number is 120. So the sum of twice a number and 3 times a number, this is now another number, meaning a different variable, equals 120, because is means equals. Okay, that's the first sentence. The second sentence is saying 4 times the first number, so 4x, first number, plus the second number is 64. Calculate the value of the two numbers. So for those of you who don't know, what we're going to do now is called simultaneous equations. That means we must select one of these to make one of them a subject of the formula. So that means we must pick one, and the best one to pick is this one here, y equals 64 minus 4x. This we're going to name number 1, and this is equation number 2. So what do we do now? We write down the second equation, 2x plus 3. So y is now 64 minus 4x, so we substitute that 64 minus 4x equals 120. Here we are putting 1 into 2. 1 into 2. Now we just do the timesing out of the brackets. This is 192. This is 2x plus this is going to be minus 12x equals to 120. Now we're going to solve x right now. Now we're going to solve x. So let's do this. Minus 10x, and then 192 minus 120 is minus 72. Then we can multiply with the negative 1 across both sides, or we can just switch them around. So let's just do that. Now let's divide with 10x. Minus 10x minus 72 divided by minus 10. X is equals to 7 comma 2. Now we are not done yet, because they asked to calculate the value of the two numbers. So what we do now is we take this x value, we take this 72 here, the 7 comma 2 I mean, and then we substitute it back into either one actually, but we're gonna do number one. So we're gonna say y equals 64 minus 4, 7 comma 2, and then we get a calculator, and then we're getting 35 comma 2. Let's just put this in a little box. Okay, so this number is that number. This number is that number. This is called simultaneous equations, and that's how we get these two values here. Alright, one thing about the word sum is you must break the words up first. You must understand what you are reading first, what is being asked of you. Okay, the next one. The length of the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 50 millimeters. Calculate the length of the other sides if the perimeter of the triangle is 120 millimeters. So, always a good idea is, if you can, draw it. Draw what is being asked or what is being given to help you a lot. So the hypotenuse, the length is 50. Calculate the length of the perimeter. So this is an x, so that's a y, and this is a right angled triangle. So they're telling us the perimeter is 120, and the perimeter is this side plus this side plus this side. Hypotenuse plus x plus y, that is equal to 120. So we say perimeter, so we say x plus y plus 50 equals 120. Then again, like the first question, we must make one variable the subject of the formula. So I'm going to pick y again. So 120 minus 50 minus x, y is equals to 70 minus x. So if we have y now, and we now know that hypotenuse is 50 and this is a right angle triangle, that means that we must instinctively know that we must use Pythagoras, because that's how we get the lengths of a triangle. We use Pythagoras. Okay, Pythagoras says first side squared plus y squared equals to 50 squared, the hypotenuse. Then we write it like this: x squared plus y squared, but we know now that y is equals to 70 minus x. So we write it like 70 minus x squared equals 50 squared. Okay, now when we simplify this, this becomes 2500, and then we must times this out in brackets. 70 minus x squared. This is equal to, this will give us 4900 minus 1400 x plus x squared equals 2500 x squared. This is when we multiply out these brackets. Then all we do now is we bring everything to one side. So I hope you can recognize that we are going to factorize. We're going to factorize now. So we left with 2x squared minus 1400, 1400x. That 2500 comes over. We're left with 2400. So the best thing to use here is that formula because this is big numbers. So the formula is, let us do it like this because the space is going to catch up now. Space is going to catch up. So it's going to be x equals minus b minus 1400 plus minus 1400 squared minus 4 to 2400 over 2a, which is 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2. This is just quadratic, that big formula to factorize. When we put it in the calculator, we get x is equal to 40 and x is equal to 30. Then what we do is with this number, we put this number into this. So 70 minus 40, that means for x1 our y1 will be 30. For y2, we put our x2 in this over here, 70 minus 30, our y2 will be 14. So let me do it like this. That x1 and this y1 together. This x2 and this y2 together. You put this x1 into this to give you this y1. When you put this x2 in this equation over here, you get your y2. This is one thing about a word sum. You must figure out what formulas you're going to use. Like in this case, we use now Pythagoras. And you must also work out that the perimeter is this formula. Side plus side plus side equals the perimeter. These things you must know. Because it won't be given, sometimes they'll give you a hint, but if they don't, you must be able to figure this out on your own. Okay. This next one is saying the length of a rectangle is 6 meters longer than its width. Calculate the width if the area is 160 meters squared. So we have two things to note. There is a width and a length. They are saying that the length is 6 meters longer than the width. That means we must write it like, let's do it like this. The width, you can say, is the breadth, and then the length is 6 meters longer. That means is an additional 6 meters. That means the width plus 6. So they're saying the length is 6 meters longer. That means it's an additional 6 to the width's length. So they are saying that the area is 160, and we must know that the area of a rectangle is the length times the width, and our length is b plus 6 and our width is b. Our area is 120. So what we do now is we multiply in, so this is b squared plus 6b. And if you can't see it, we are going to do again a factorizing. This is b squared plus 6b minus 120. So if you put this in that big formula, we are going to get values for the width, and that's going to be a, let's do it quickly, let's break it up rather. So yes, as you can see here, the area, you must know the formula for area. I've seen quite a few scripts that don't know. So okay, sorry over there, just got a message. So the formula that we're gonna use is, let's say, so x squared equals minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And how we're gonna write this one is, we're gonna say minus 6 squared minus 4 minus 120 equal, calculate the work, so minus 6 squared actually, sorry, I see now that this should be, this is 160 a 160 and a 160. That's why it's always good to look at your work and see what you are doing. Always check your work, no matter what. So our first answer for it's getting b, so b1 is equal to 10, b2 is equal to minus 16. Okay, so what we do now is we put the length and the length to length 1. So first thing that we must know is we're going to substitute this back into the given. So when we do that, we must put it in. Yeah. So we put it in 10 squared plus 6. No. When we get the length, we must say area equals length times width. So to get the length, we say area divided by the width. So this answer will be 160 over 10. L equals 16. So an important note to make: whenever they ask you to get the lengths of something and your answer is negative, like over here, you know that you can't continue with this anymore, because length can't be negative. It can never be negative. So it must be a positive value. So it will only be, there will only be one answer, not two, not two possible answers, only one. Okay. Also, when once you get your B, you must substitute your B into your area formula, like I did over here, into your area formula, and then you manipulate to get L alone to get your L1. Okay, always again, when you read your question, you must make sure what you're reading. Like I made a mistake now here of putting 120 instead of 160. That's an honest quick mistake, and as you can see, once you start a mistake, you continue it. So always just look back and see it like, and make sure you're doing the right thing. Yeah, look back and make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay, this next questions is coming from exam questions. They are a bit more trickier, but let's see what they are saying. So, a mother is 3 times as old as a daughter. So let's write down what we are reading. A mother is 3 times, is 3 times. That means 3 times the mother's age is the daughter's age. So this is 3 times. Is, which means equals, this is a 3, and times is multiply. As old as a daughter. That means a daughter has one age that is 3 times that is equal to the mother's age. So let's put a 1 there. In 12 years, she will be twice as old as her daughter. Twice is 2 times. So, how old is the mother? First, we have to write down this in the nicest way possible. First, we have to find out the current age of both mother and daughter. So we can write it like this. Daughter, mother. So the current age, and then we write the age for in 12 years time. Okay, so like I said, the daughter is one age, right? One value there. Then the mother is 3 times that number. Then in 12 years they will both be 12 years older than their current age. So they were 3x plus 12 as well. Okay. So when we read our story sum, it is saying the mother is 3 times as old as the daughter, and in 12 years, let's write this age, finish, 3 times the age of a daughter, and in 12 years she will be twice as old as her daughter. So this is with the 12 years. In 12 years she will be twice as old as her daughter. That means the daughter's age in 12 years times 2 when we do it like this. So again, the mother is 3 times as old as the daughter, and in 12 years time, with the 12 years, she will be 2 times as old as the daughter in that 12 years now. So we first get we first solving x now, and when we solve x, we will have the age of the daughter, the current age. So all we do is we multiply that age with 3 to get the mother's age. So let's do that. This is 2x plus 24, 12, 3x. This is x, this is 12. This means that this is the daughter's age. Daughter is 12 years, and then to get the mother's age, we just multiply that with 3. So let's do that quickly. 3, 12 equals 24. It's mother. This is not a mother. It's 36. Mother is 36 years. I hope everyone could see that. So, read it again. So, the mother is 3 times multiply with the daughter's age, because this x is the daughter's age. Mother is 3 times as old as the daughter, and twice as old in 12 years. So we add 12 years. And then the daughter, she will be twice as old as the daughter in that 12 years. 12 years from now, from the current age. Then when we solve x, we're getting the daughter's current age. So when we get the mother's age, we multiply this 12 with 3 to give us 36 years. So the mother is 36. And the daughter is 12 years old. Okay, so the length of two adjacent sides of a rectangle are in the ratio 3 to 1, and the diagonal measures 8 meters. Calculate the area of the rectangle. So whenever you get a question like this, it's always best to draw. So we have a rectangle, when we have a diagonal, the set is 8, and then the ratio of the adjacent sides is 3 to 1. 3 to 1. And we know the rectangle, all these sides is square. So what we do now is we want to get the area, and to get the area we need the lengths of the sides, and we don't have that right now. So what do? We must notice that we are going to use Pythagoras again, because here is a triangle. The law of Pythagoras will help us. So hypotenuse squared equals one side squared plus the other side squared. So we're gonna say 3x squared plus x squared. This will give us 9x squared plus x squared. This is 64. Then we simplify. This is 10x squared and this is 64 equals 6 comma 4, because we're going to divide 10 to get x alone. We're solving x again. So when we square root both sides, we are gonna get the calculator. We're gonna get 2,53. That means we got this one now, the breadth. Now to get the length, we must just say 3 times this number, basically 3x, and then 3x would be that number times 3 will give us 7,59. This is the length. That's the length. Now for the area, of the rectangle, we all know the area of a rectangle is area equals length times breadth. That means 7,59 multiplied 2,53 will give us the area, and this will give us 19,203 meters squared, because area is in meters squared. Okay, I feel like this one was a good one. This one was a good question. Just remember to always put variables and to draw when you can. Draw out your given information. Then you should be okay. Again, one thing about story sums, you must know what you are reading and you must make sense of it. And always make sure what you are reading makes sense to you, and then you put it on the paper. Okay, this is the last two. So this last two is saying, why I wanted to ask this last two is because this one is what I've seen a few times, and not many people know what a natural number is. So a natural number is any number that is positive. It has to be positive. There can't be a square root, there can't be a negative. That's a natural number. So I always thought this is, we have to read and make sense of it. So a natural number we write as follows. We say a natural number. So we must know it's going to be positive. It's going to be positive, and basically we can say it's going to not like no surds. So natural number is increased by 10. See, the English is saying increase, that means addition by 10 is 24 times the reciprocal. 24 times meaning multiply. So is means equal. Again, is means equal. 24 times the reciprocal. The reciprocal means inverse. Reciprocal is the inverse of that number. So let's do it like this. Now we do it again. We say a natural number x is increased by 10 and is increased by 10 is 24 times the reciprocal of that number, the natural number. That means the reciprocal of x is 1 over x. Again, a natural number is increased by 10 is 24 times the reciprocal of that number. Now all we do is getting x alone again. So 24 over x plus 10 equal, now to get x out here we must multiply with x across the whole equation. So multiply with x, then we're going to get x squared plus 10x and 24. Once again you can see we're going to factorize x squared plus 10x minus 24 equals to 0. Okay, so what are the factors of 24? Because by now we should know how to factorize. So it's 1 and 24, 2 and 12. We can stop here because we can see that 2 and 12 will give us 10, but we must just play with the signs. So we're going to have x and an x equals 0. We have a 12 and a 2. So we know that the big number must be positive because the number we want is positive. So 12 gets a positive, 2 gets the minus. So when we carry on, we're going to take out x equals minus 12, and then x equals 2. So if you remember, when we first read the question, it said it must be a natural number. A natural number, it must be positive, and 1x value is negative 12. That means x is not that number. That means the number is 2. This is why it's very important to read the question and understand what it means. A natural number must be positive. Also, this inverse, when we speak of inverse, it's 1 over the number that we're talking about. Okay, so the next one is quite similar to the first one we did. It is saying that the perimeter of a rectangular garden is 160 meters. The length is 40 meters longer than the breadth. Calculate the length and the breadth. This one. Let us draw so it's saying that the length is 40 meters longer than the breadth. So let's say x plus 40. X is the number. It's longer by 40 meters, and then that means the width or the breadth is going to be 40 less their number. 40 left hand number? No, it's just x. So this is our length, that's our breadth. So the perimeter means the length times 2 plus 2 on the breadth equals 160 equals B is 2x, the length is 2x plus 40. So this is 2x plus 80 plus 2x, 160, 160. This is equal to 4x and 80. X equals 20. This means the length of the breadth is 20 meters, and then to get the length equals 20 plus 40 equals 60 meters, and there you have it. The breadth is 20, the length is 60. Okay, just really quickly, I want to show you that we are correct, because the perimeter is saying that two lengths, so 60 plus 60 plus two breadths, 20 plus 20 equals 160. So this is 120 plus 40 is 160. So we know we're correct. This length plus this length plus this length plus this length will give us 120. 160, I mean. 160. Just to prove that we are correct. Okay, and this is word sums. Very important to remember and to make notes of what these words mean, because understanding the words is how you're going to jot down your given equation, or are you going to make up your own equation from what is given to you. So pay very close attention to the words they are using, and write on the question paper, like I wrote here, times is multiplying, is equal, increase is plusing, you're adding, addition, reciprocal is inverse, natural number is positive with no surds. Very important to note. And this has been word sums. I hope this has been help. I know that word sums it can be a problem, but take it slowly and take your time with it. Leave it for last if you have to. But yeah, this can be tricky, but just take it in steps. Do it sentence for sentence, and then take it from there.